Hello my friends, in today's video we will take a look at Antigravity A1 360 drone. Antigravity is a fairly new drone manufacturer created by Insta360, which is a company best known for 360 cameras such as the X5. I have done a lot of reviews of 360 cameras over the years where I have explained the concept of overcapture, where the 360 camera captures everything at once. The overcapture is already extremely convenient on the ground, but up there in the air it is a completely new dimension. In this video we will take a look at the concept of 360 drones in general, at the performance of the A1, and maybe most importantly at the experience of using one. The Antigravity A1 is the world's first all-in-one 360 drone equipped with a dual camera setup similar to the Insta360 X5. Antigravity has decided to start with sub 250 gram drone, which may or may not give you some bureaucratic advantages depending on the local laws. If you have flown a regular drone, you know that it requires you to synchronize the movements of the camera and the steering of the drone itself. That is not the case with the A1. Whilst it will be possible to use the A1 with a 2D screen, it is meant to be used with goggles, and those add another level to the 360 experience. The drone is filming everything around it, and you have the VR goggles, so you can look around much like if you are in the air. Before I get to the filmmaking side of the A1, I have to say that it is one of the best toys that I've ever had, and I mean toy in the best possible way. Seeing some of my favorite places literally like a bird and being able to just look around whilst being 120 meters in the sky is now one of my favorite hobbies. Possibly the biggest difference between a 360 drone and a regular drone is the way that you steer it. Instead of using joysticks and wheels, the A1 is steered by the combination of looking and pointing the motion-sensitive controller. The way that it works is that you just press the trigger button on the joystick and it will fly where you look. You can also make smaller corrections by pointing the controller. The caveat is that you can't move side to side and you can't move backwards, but it is not an issue, you will just need to turn around to back up. One more thing that I need to add here is that when flying with the A1 you are completely detached from reality, so you will probably need some observer, which is also required by the law in some countries. There is also an FPV mode where you can steer by tilting the controller. I've heard that some people prefer it, but I am not one of them. I use free motion mode only. In comparison to the regular drones, I found it to be much easier to use, there was basically no learning curve. You can also take some demo flights in the goggles, which is a great option to learn the controls without the risk of damaging the drone. Regarding the filmmaking side of the A1, the overcapture lets you choose the composition of the shot after the footage has been filmed, much like with ground-based 360 cameras. As I mentioned, this takes away the need to control the camera in addition to steering of the drone. The overcapture gives you pretty much unlimited options, from the ability to add the smoothest possible panning and tilting to effects such as Tiny Planet. The A1 seems to be using a very similar camera setup as the Insta360 X5 with two 1/1.28 inch sensors. It can shoot 8K video up to 30p, but that 8K resolution is applied to the whole sphere, so it is not the same thing as 8K 2D video. Generally speaking, I would say that it is comparable to 1440p or QHD 2D resolution. The image quality is completely fine for Instagram, TikTok and that sort of platforms. For big screens, it depends on your expectations. There will be a visible difference in the image quality when you mix the A1 and full-frame DSLM footage. If you mainly care about the image quality, this is still not for you, but I really hope that Antigravity will eventually make a 360 drone with two Micro Four Thirds cameras, for example. The processing is really nice though. The biggest challenge with the 360 footage is probably the dynamic range, because the camera is filming the sky and the ground at the same time. Antigravity or Insta360 have come a very long way in this regard, and I can say that the A1 or the X5 can capture a really good amount of dynamic range even in very high dynamic range scenes. The low light is probably the biggest challenge for the A1 in terms of the output. Well, it isn't really meant for night flights. The image in the goggles is actually good enough for safe piloting in dusk, but there will be visible noise in the output. The cameras on the A1 are mounted on the top side and the bottom side, which means that the stitching is done horizontally. With the latest firmware, I haven't been able to spot any stitching artifacts in my samples, so I can say that the stitching is pretty much perfect. The drone itself will never be visible in the footage. You can also take spherical 360 photos with the A1, and that works the same way as with the Insta360 cameras. That is possible in the INSP or DAG RAW files for RAW editing. Much like with the video, the image quality depends on the zoom of your final 2D image. The Antigravity Vision goggles are an impressive piece of technology by themselves. They have 2560 by 2560 resolution at 72 Hz, and whilst I don't have much experience with VR headsets, the image quality seems to be really great to me. They have adjustments for eye distance as well as prescription diopters. There are two more customizable displays on the front side, and these can display the preview from the flight, and they are also used for firmware updates and that kind of stuff. The headset is pretty light at about 340 grams. The battery is external, which keeps the weight down. The features of the goggles could easily be a topic for a separate video, but the highlights are that they do have a camera on the front side, so they let you see your surroundings without taking them off. They have a slot for SD card and 30GB internal memory for sound and screen recording, and they also take care of the video transmission using the OmniLink 360 protocol. They are rated for 6km CE or 10km FCC. The furthest that I've flown so far is about 900 meters with nothing in the way, and the transmission worked with no issues. The controller is also extremely well designed. It is ergonomically excellent and the controls are well positioned. There is a slider used for takeoffs, landings and changes of the altitude, a joystick for flying forward, a wheel for panning, recording and shutter button, menu button, 2 buttons for tracking and a brake. There is also a rocker that allows you to choose between normal, cinematic and sports mode. The normal mode is balanced, the cinematic mode is suitable for very slow flyovers, and the sport mode gives you full speed, but you need to be careful here because it turns off some of the safety features. The user interface inside of the goggles allows you to change all of the settings related to the controls, recording, safety features, and so on. It also gives you very easy access to the smart features such as the Sky Genie. It is generally very user-friendly, so no complaints here. Regarding the battery life, the A1 is available with two types of batteries depending on the market. The small battery keeps the drone below 250 grams and it is rated for 24 minutes, which is pretty realistic. 18 to 20 minutes should be a safe flight time. The larger battery is rated for 39 minutes, so I would say that about 30 minutes will be a safe flight time. Antigravity's triple charger is also very smart. It always charges the battery with the high state of charge first, which makes sense because you want to take off with a full battery. It can also transfer power from the battery with the lowest state of charge to the battery with the high state of charge, which avoids the situations where you have 3 batteries with an unusably low state of charge. The maximum charging power is 60 watts, which is a fantastic value, and you can use the batteries as a power bank if necessary. One more clever detail is the retractable landing gear and replaceable lenses. This is especially important on a 360 drone because the lenses are exposed by design, so it is good to know that the protection and the repairability were considered. The A1 offers various auto track and preset motion modes in the Sky Genie tab. I mostly tested the circling, which works really well. Tracking of various objects, including people, is also very smooth. Regarding the safety features, the A1 has sensors on the front side and on the bottom side, which is completely sufficient because it only moves forward as I've explained. The sensors and the safety features generally work very well. The editing of the footage can be done either in the Antigravity Studio app or in the smartphone app. Both are free and they work very well, much like Insta360 Studio software. Here you can change the aspect ratio, the field of view, set the composition, add camera movement using the keyframes, and so on. As I've explained in the beginning, that gives you great flexibility, but the obvious disadvantage is that it is an extra step that needs to be done to get the 2D footage. There is also an auto edit feature, but I haven't tried it yet, to be honest. To sum up, the Antigravity A1 is a drone that lets you take all of the pragmatic advantages of a 360 camera into the sky. For me personally, the biggest highlight of the A1 by far is the experience of flying. Being able to get 100 meters up in the sky and simply look around is pretty amazing and currently one of my favorite hobbies. Antigravity or Insta360 has managed to get the controls right on the first attempt. Flying is very intuitive and basically without the learning curve for most people. The goggles are excellent in every aspect, from the micro LED panels to the user interface, which is controlled by an equally well-designed motion-sensitive controller. Much like with the X5, the factor that will determine what is and isn't possible is the quality of the output. Insta360 is improving the quality of 360 output every year. It is already on a completely different level in comparison to 2020, for example, and I am sure that it will continue to improve. At the moment, it is more than good enough for mobile platforms and also for larger screens in cases where the flexibility of the footage can make up for the lower image quality. At the current state of technology, there isn't really anything specific that I can complain about. Maybe a proper drone aficionado would find some issues, but as an average drone user, I am very happy with it. As I've said, I would really like to see a larger version of the A1 with bigger sensors that would get the output quality closer to DSLM cameras, and I hope that it will happen at some point. For the time being, I can highly recommend the A1, especially if you mostly care about the experience of flying. So that's it for this video, thank you for watching, I hope that you have liked this video and that you have found it to be useful. Stay tuned for more videos and maybe consider subscribing if you don't want to miss my future content. I appreciate your feedback in form of thumbs up or thumbs down. If you would like to ask anything or share opinion, please do so in the comment section, and see you next time.